It's Jets running back Le'Veon Bell. Everyone seems to be
Ew.
hating on this guy. Everyone is hating on this guy. I know he had a brutal season in 2019. Efficiency was garbage. This is like going to shock you when I say just how bad this number is. He averaged 3.2 yards per carry. I feel like you
Ew.
could throw just
No.
about any professional running back into an offense and they can just fall forward for 3.2 yards a carry. So an absolutely brutal season in 2019. But then again, the Jets had a lot of problems. Sam Darnold missed some time. He saw ghosts on, in prime time. Adam Gase is the head coach. There's a lot of problems in New York, but I really think Le'Veon Bell is being slept on. He finished with all those things in mind. He still finished as the running back 16 last season, and that's a very solid RB2. He gets the volume, so for me, like when I'm drafting a running back early, I want a guy who's going to get volume. I don't want to have to count on guys for big plays. A good example of this is at the receiver position. I've kind of talked down on A.J. Brown this year because I don't want to have to rely on one big play to make your fantasy week. And when I think about the running position, that's even more important. I don't want to have to rely on one big play, or I don't want to have to rely on a ridiculous amount of touchdowns or things like that because it's a bit more unpredictable. And with Le'Veon Bell, he's going to get the carries. Maybe the touchdown numbers aren't quite as high as someone like, a Josh Jacobs or an Aaron Jones, but he's going to get receiving work as well in half point and full point PPR leagues. I love the Le'Veon Bell pick, especially with the value that he is right now. I just can't imagine him getting worse than he was in 2019. Right now, he's going as the RB19, which is 3 spots lower than he was in his brutal 2019 season. That value is a steal. Guys going around him are Melvin Gordon, Chris Carson, Devin Singletary, Mark Ingram. To me, like I'm taking Le'Veon Bell over those guys all day. From the volume perspective that I spoke of, he was 11th in the NFL in carries last season with 245, and he was 7th in targets amongst running backs. So to me, like that volume has him locked in as an RB2 with RB1 upside. We've seen what Le'Veon Bell can do with a good team around him. The Jets were the sneakiest 7-9 team in football last season. If their offense gets any better with Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell has more touchdown opportunity, there's no reason he can't sneak in as RB 10 to 12. And I know there's been some talk about Adam Gase reducing his workload and things like that, but I personally don't think that 4th-round pick LaMichael Pirine or 37-year-old Frank Gore are going to cut in to Le'Veon Bell's workload too much, especially with that contract he's got. So, yes, shout out to Frank Gore. He might be the first ever NFL player to have a grandchild playing on his team in the league at the same time. But I just don't see it happening. I think that's more of a locker room signing. Maybe he gets a couple carries a game. But Le'Veon Bell, for me, people are sleeping on him. People think he's washed. Even if he is washed, he's going to get enough volume to be valuable.
I agree with you on the volume side. It's really tough when I'm looking at some of the names around him to go with Lev Bell. Just from an efficiency standpoint, in a scoring standpoint, I really just think Adam Gase holds him back. I can't remember the last time we had a running back that you wanted to own in fantasy at their value on an Adam Gase offense. I look at Jonathan Taylor around that ADP, and I think I'd rather go with him. Other names here is your boy David Montgomery, we already talked about. Devin Singletary, I think I would take all those over Lev Bell. Just what you said, though, like the volume. That's what you know. So if you want to go with the most volume of all the running backs in that tier, maybe you go with Lev Bell. I would take the efficiency and the scoring over pure volume. But I do think Lev Bell has nowhere to go but up. I think he will be more efficient. I don't know if I like him there when I'm looking at some of the other names around him in my draft. So I don't know how much I'll own of Le'Veon Bell in 2020, but I do think you made a pretty good case there.
Look, you don't have to agree with me on everything, Steph, but just looking at the 2019 season, the Jets are going to improve on the ground. Their offensive line, according to Football Outsiders, had the 31st ranked run blocking grade.
Oh.
So they're at the bottom of the barrel. And when I look at their offseason, I know earlier we talked about the Bengals, and they had a bad O-line, and they did nothing to address it in the offseason. The Rams are another team that had a bad O-line and did nothing to address it in the offseason. This Jets team addressed the offensive line. In free agency, they signed Connor McGovern, who was the Denver Broncos starting center. They signed him to a 3-year, $27 million deal. So that's some pretty decent money for an offensive lineman. They also signed a guard away from the Carolina Panthers who should slide in and start for them. And then the draft, They drafted our boy Mekhi Becton, beast mode offensive tackle out of Louisville, 6'7", 364 pounds, and at that size he ran the 40 in 5.11 seconds. So
That's just
this dude
nuts.
can move. He is an absolute freight train. And I look at the two signings and the drafting of Mekhi Becton, and this Jets offensive line is going to have minimum three new talented starters in 2020. So I can't help but think that this running game is going to improve. So Le'Veon Bell is going to be a big beneficiary of that. I think the offense is going to be better because of that. And that's just another check in the box for Le'Veon Bell for me. The current value he's going at, I'll gladly take him, in the 5th, 6th round as my RB2 or 3. I'm feeling really, really strong if that's the situation I have heading into the season.
So let's do some price checks on Lev Bell. Would you have Todd Gurley or Le'Veon Bell?
I'll take Todd Gurley.
Let's bring up David Johnson. David Johnson, another guy who I think we expect to be pretty inefficient as well, but still get a ton of volume. I think you're going to say Lev Bell here.
Yeah, give me Lev Bell all day there.
I think I would too. What about Melvin Gordon or Le'Veon Bell?
Give me Le'Veon Bell.
Wow, I think that's a pretty hot take. I like Gordon this year. We'll talk about him on another episode. Last one here. To take the upside in the rookie Jonathan Taylor as the Colts homer.
Don't do
or are you
this
still
to me.
sticking with Lev Bell? I had to do it to you.
Don't do it to me, man. I mean, Dynasty, it's obviously Jonathan Taylor. Gosh, and I had Taylor as a sleeper rookie of the year pick. I want it to be Taylor so badly. I want it to be Taylor, but if they're both on the board, unfortunately, I think I would take Le'Veon Bell. Unfortunately.
Wow.
I
See,
hate saying that.
At that level where we're looking at, around that like late RB2, I'd rather take a little bit more upside and efficiency, somebody who can score a little bit more. So give me Melvin Gordon, give me Todd Gurley, give me Jonathan Taylor, give me Singletary over Lev Bell. Maybe it's not so much an indictment on Le'Veon, but more just how bullish I am on some of these other names around this ADP. Last one here, I just saw him out of the corner of my eye. Mark Ingram or Lev Bell?
Oh, I'm low on Mark Ingram this year. I love the guy, but I'm low on him for fantasy. Give me Le'Veon Bell.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is interesting to me because I think we're on both ends of the spectrum when it comes to Lev Bell. I'm very down on him. I mean, his longest play of last year was a 19-yard run. It's just like that efficiency.
That's what I'm saying, though.
So
his
bad.
longest play of last year was a 19-yard run, and he was a high-end RB2. He's going to have a play bigger than 19 yards this year. I'll bet you on that.
Maybe. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's in that,
we'll see.
Gase offense. It's tough for me to see
Yeah.
all that much improving. I like what you did say about the O-line, though. I think a lot of people are sleeping on their O-line. But just for me, I'm not there yet on Bell. We'll see as the season comes around.
Fair.
Maybe he is a value. Maybe he drops a little bit more into that more like, David Johnson, James Conner, Raheem Mostert, Mark Ingram type of category. I think I would take him over some of the names there. So